Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Sounds good. Looks good. We're live. Okay. Welcome, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about sleep and vagus nerve stimulation and treating insomnia. Very, very relevant, very important subject to cover. So first thing we're going to do, though, is our famous simultaneous squeeze, which is a quick breath in, hold, squeeze process that we do that is really good and really helpful. So let's do that. We're going to stimulate our vagus nerve through breathing. It's a great process. You can do it very easily. So you take a deep breath in. It'll be like that. Then you take a sip of air at the very top, a short sip, and then you hold the air in as much as you can, tightly as you can, and then you're going to squeeze like you're trying to blow the air back out of your mouth, like into a balloon, like into an imaginary balloon that isn't there, while keeping your mouth shut. So you're not going to let any of that air out. And that's going to activate your diaphragm to squeeze your vagus nerve, which is going to cause it to produce acetylcholine, which is going to give you a nice vagus nerve stimulation effect almost instantaneously. And you're going to hold that squeeze for 5 seconds, and then you're going to slowly exhale after 5 seconds for another 5 seconds through your mouth. Just like that, okay? Super simple. Ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, breathe in. Sip of air. Hold and squeeze. And then slowly exhale. Just like that. Okay, good. So nice, easy process. Big, deep breath in. Hold, squeeze it. Hold that for 5 seconds, and then slowly exhale. You can do this at any time in the day. If you're having pain, if you're feeling stressed, it will immediately activate your vagus nerve and let you experience like what is vagus nerve kind of. It's a different form of vagus nerve stimulation, but that is a form, that is a low grade way to stimulate your vagus nerve momentarily, okay? So cool. All right, good. So today's subject is going to be on sleep and the vagus nerve. So we do know now that if you stimulate your vagus nerve before bed, it can tangibly improve your ability to go to sleep and stay asleep. I actually have a great client, Debbie, who signed up with us through our coaching program all the way back in, must have been May of this year, with complaints of severe insomnia that had been lasting for about a decade. So about a decade worth of that spurned on by a Lyme infection, Bartonella Lyme. And all the treatments that she did further damage. So she was only sleeping 2 hours a night. She saw a video that I'd done months ago on, again, the results of our clients in the program using ultrasound VNS to stimulate their vagus nerve before bed. And she was like, I'll definitely sign up for this. I'll try it out. And lo and behold, she went from 2 hours of sleeping per night to almost instantaneously within about a week to 5 hours of sleep per night. So from 2 hours of sleep to 5 hours within just a week. Then after about, the duration of our program is about 3-4 months. Through the whole duration, her sleep is returned to perfectly normal. She's living a perfectly great, awesome, amazing married life in a part of the country I won't mention, but a beautiful part of the country close to the Grand Canyon, and living her best life now. So totally a game changer for her when it came to sleep and, getting restful sleep. So I know that for a lot of our clients that we've had that have gone through our phase 1, phase 2 programs, that their sleep has tangibly improved on countless levels through stimulating their vagus nerve. So I've seen it firsthand. In my work that vagus nerve stimulation absolutely does improve outcomes when it comes to sleep. Hey guys, hey, good to see you. Hey Lori, I see ya. So one thing also that you can see from this link that I posted here is from a Nature article. You don't have to click on it yet, but I'll just read it to you basically. It says cervical meaning on the neck, vagus nerve stimulation improves human cognition, performance, under sleep deprivation stress. So if you are the type of person who is feeling sleep deprived and noticing it as having some severe cognitive debilitating effects, then you absolutely should find a way to incorporate cervical vagus nerve stimulation right into your neck, right? Let me just do a really quick thing. Ways to stimulate your vagus nerve for sleep. Boom. Yeah. So cervical vagus nerve stimulation is an amazing adjunct therapy that should be used in the case of sleep issues, primarily because when you have fatigue, it can become a serious and unavoidable problem for many professions. Mainly the reason this study was done that I posted is in medicine. So if you're a nurse, if you're in transportation, driving, or the military, or you mess something up in the military, can have pretty disastrous consequences. In general, it's a serious public health risk. Fatigue induced by sustained wakefulness can cause slower reaction times and a reduced ability to multitask, and increases in lapses of attention that can lead to costly, even deadly mistakes. A review found that studies on the behavioral implications of sleep deprivation repeatedly showed increased reaction times, decreased accuracy, decreased attention, and negative alterations in mood. Although some fatigue countermeasures do exist, primarily of a pharmacological, pill-based nature, these vary in their effectiveness and range of negative side effects, as well as issues of loss of effectiveness with repeated use. Therefore, it is important to investigate alternative, potential, non-pharmacological fatigue countermeasures that can sustain performance longer with minimal side effects. One possible way to enhance alertness would be to non-invasively stimulate a region of the brain where the vagus nerve goes, called the locus coeruleus, which can control norepinephrine and is believed to play a role in the regulation of attention, arousal, wakefulness, memory formation, and memory retention, many of the behaviors impacted by sleep deprivation. The best way to do this is to stimulate the vagus nerve right here in the neck. In the study, they found a consistent increase in the ability to maintain a good mood with vagus nerve stimulation under repeated sleep deprivation. So if you have issues spurning from lack of sleep or not good sleep, then you should absolutely be turning to things like vagus nerve stimulation, 100%. Like I said, the best thing to do if you have insomnia, if you have sleep issues, is definitely to stimulate your vagus nerve. I'll post that at the end of the video of the best place to go. Well, no, I'll post it right now. vegushub.com/phase1. If you are having sleep issues, signing up for our phase 1 coaching program could be the biggest, best decision that you've made in your entire life. Oftentimes, signing up for a program like that gives you access to ultrasound vagus nerve stimulation right from inside of the program is like a game changer for many people's lives, for their health, for their sleep, for everything. So if I'm going to make a recommendation for the best thing to do, and I'm going to make a series of recommendations, 6 more recommendations besides this, but the phase 1 coaching program is phenomenal. Now, don't think of it as a coaching program where people are like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. No, it's basically a medical program designed to facilitate the usage, the proper usage, and the protocols of stimulating your vagus nerve with ultrasound. That's what the phase 1 coaching program is. So don't get it fooled. It's not a Tony Robbins rah, rah, rah kind of thing. But, certainly there's encouragement to continue to use it. And what we see is that making it a coaching specific type of orientation, a relationship between oh yeah, absolutely, Chris would absolutely love to have that call with you. Here, let me put this here in the chat. Please go ahead and schedule the 10-minute call. That can be the game plan call, and then we can schedule the longer strategy call too. That's totally fine. And I'm happy to answer any and all questions. And I actually think that over the 6 years that I've been doing the group and the coaching, the program basically, I probably had like 3,500 calls, most likely. So not a problem. Happy to do it. I actually do enjoy this stuff. Excellent. Thank you. Good. Cool. Great. Fantastic. And we also do offer great payment plans too. So you can, defer payments month to month too as well. That's also available. But yeah, as far as, really from the quotient of sleep, insomnia, there's lots of other benefits to using vagus nerve stimulation. I can assure you of that. But just on the level of the cognitive benefits for people, it is phenomenal. So that's a huge recommendation I can make. Now one other thing that we do notice is helpful is in the initial stages when you're kind of like retraining your sleep systems, is that you will stimulate right before bed. And then some people still have that kind of ingrained like knee-jerk reaction to wake up at 2, 3 in the a.m. in the morning. Oftentimes what we found is just a little bit extra stimulation for like a minute of their vagus nerve helps them go right back to sleep and retrain their whole brain to maintain sleep throughout the whole night. And that's been a big win for people. So oftentimes it's totally appropriate if you do wake up at 2 in the morning, something makes you wake up, you drink too much water, you just have a habit of waking up at 2 in the morning, is that doing a little bit of stimulation at that wake up period when you don't want to be awake will help ease you back into sleep very quickly. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you'll be back to sleep. That's a really well-known effect that we do encourage. So anyway, so I do want to make some, maybe a full stack of recommendations, things that can activate your vagus nerve that could give you some insight into how this works. If you're not ready to join a program or anything like that, then I certainly want to still see you succeed. So I'm going to post here in the chat a couple recommendations. First recommendation that's non-program related or non-device is going to be deep breathing. So, as we always start these videos off with the simultaneous squeeze, having a deep breath and really filling your lungs up to their max, and then kind of squeezing it like a Valsalva squeeze is going to actually activate your vagus nerve. And if you do that before bedtime, that can be incredibly helpful for people. So that can be a good option. Definitely. I really like deep breathing for sure. Another recommendation here would be meditation. So regular meditation practices such as mindfulness or loving kindness or ho'oponopono can help activate the vagus nerve and promote relaxation. Finding a quiet space, sitting comfortably, and focusing on your breath for a specific mantra, is really just pulling yourself away from technology, honestly, is really what that is, mostly. Another one that I really love is cold exposure. So there have been many times in my life where I've driven down to Home Depot and purchased a standing ice chest, an ice chest. One of those things that you put cold food in, but filling it instead with water, and then there's a specific thing you do, but basically I've made ice baths out of parts from a Home Depot, which is, a standing 10 liter large lid open closed kind of thing. We've all seen those, for deep freezing food for a long time. You can actually buy those, put water in it, and if you can do it right, if you know what you're doing, you can have it at a constant state of cold water, something that you can just dive into or sit in, and it'll go up above your nipples. And that's a really great way to activate your vagus nerve for sure. So if you really want to get extreme with it, then having some kind of an at-home cold freezer kind of thing, like a cold plunge of some sort that's just always on your back porch or something like that, could be a really good option. I even installed one in my office in Berkeley, California, in my work office. And I would just use it, throughout the day if needed. Usually in the morning, one at the end of the day. But cold exposure could be a great option for people to do. Another option, yoga and stretching. So certain yoga poses can activate the vagus nerve to promote relaxation. You can incorporate gentle stretches or restoration yoga poses into your evening routine to prepare your body for sleep. So that can be good. Things like the cat-cow, that movement, or the seal, anything that kind of like stretches your whole core out like that can kind of help facilitate your vagus nerve to activate. That can be really good. Another one, which I really like, singing or chanting can also help to engage the vagus nerve and promote relaxation. You can try humming, singing along to calming music, or even practicing simple chants or mantras. Sometime doing karaoke at home could be a good option. You know, you can buy one of those karaoke machines off of Amazon with a microphone and a speaker and Bluetooth and lights for like $50 sometimes, 50 to $80, depending on like, you know, how much you want to spring for it. But yeah, having a karaoke machine at home, if you like something like that, could be a great way to kind of blow off steam and get your voice and your vagus nerve to work. And then lastly, massage. If you're having trouble sleeping, getting a really good massage, you know, an Asian, like going to an Asian part of town where they have longer massages for less money is a good option, you know, for people. Because a really professional massage, they're not walk-in. You have to schedule them months in advance. At least that's where I live. I have to schedule a massage 2 to 3 months in advance, and it sucks because I would prefer to have a massage, if I could, every week, every 2 weeks, but I have to go all the way to a nearby large metropolitan area, to the Chinatown, basically, to be able to go and just be like, hey, do you have a spot open? They said, yeah, sure, come on down. We've got people ready to do that, right? And no, not the ones with the happy endings, guys, okay? Just a normal massage, okay? Something like that, like a hot stone massage can be really good, really, really good for you. So something like that. But, you know, again, you can self-massage. Yeah, Lori says, here, a shady part of town, you'll get a happy ending. Lol. Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, yeah, I mean, allegedly, that's something that does happen there. I legitimately, honest to God, don't know anything about that. It's just not a thing that I've done. But yeah, so generally speaking, that's the kind of massage that I think really works for like calming the whole body. But self-massage can be good. At the end of the day, you can use your fingertips to apply circular motions to around your neck, around the neck and the throat area to help kind of stimulate and relax your vagus nerve. Rub around your ears, do this kind of motion, you know, clean your ear, clean your neck, that kind of stuff. That can help activate your vagus nerve too, and that can be helpful. So, you know, things to try, things to experiment with a little bit. So give it a shot. But yeah, and then lastly, let me put this in here. Lastly, remember that consistency is key when it comes to stimulating the vagus nerve for sleep. You got to incorporate these practices into your nightly routine and give yourself time to unwind and relax before bed. Join the world's most premier VNS program ever. Join us and learn more here, right? So for some of you who, you know, again, on the level of consistency, there is nothing that has helped people stay more consistent than by utilizing a physical, handheld ultrasound vagus nerve stimulator. And that's exactly what we provide to people in the phase 1 coaching program. So if you want to get access to that, then you can click on that link, phase 1. And in that first video, there's a first video there's multiple links. There's written documentation on exactly what kind of ultrasound we use, how the ultrasound works, what the nature of the program is, what coaching entails. It's more medical consultations, basically, but we call it coaching, to use the device, to be consistent, to make, you know, again, coaching around habits, given that consistency really is key here. If you are not consistent with vagus nerve stimulation, using it once in a year isn't going to magically change your life. Using it a little bit a day, consistently over weeks to weeks, could radically shift your entire sleep profile for the better. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. I've literally worked now, we're edging close to 1,000 clients that have gone through phase 1 over the last 6 years, which is a lot. I think that's a lot. It adds up. So I do know what I'm talking about here. And yeah, using vagus nerve stimulation before bed can be like amazing, help you really sleep. So something to consider. But yeah, that's the vagus nerve stimulation and repair program. I'm also going to post it just quickly on on YouTube as well for those who are watching. Oh, it didn't post properly. Boop, there we go. Okay, cool. So that's going to be it. Sleep and vagus nerve drug-free treatment for insomnia. I would say that vagus nerve stimulation is a fantastic drug-free option to get your vagus nerve working. So anyway, that'll wrap it up for us on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the work we're doing here. Thank you. So we'll end that. And then